It's been bumped. The bumpers happened.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to game number 5 of this Best of 5 series. Suns fan has something he needs to tell us. Please share us.
I'm making an official prediction.
Okay. This is an official one, not to be confused with the unofficial predictions.
Not for this series, just in general.
Oh, no.
By TI.
Oh, here it is.
Rasta will be a core hero.
Okay.
Now, there's a few ways that he might get buffed in the meantime. You could, increase his ether shock damage or something like that, or lower the cooldown or something like that.
Make him have like a better strength gain or something.
Hey, if you want to do something crazy, you can get rid of his hex and just give him like an escape mechanism.
Well, the easiest way to make that hero not shit is just give him more movement speed. That was how they nerfed him, was just removing his normal movement speed.
Doesn't he have a movement speed talent?
I mean,
I can't remember.
He does. I think the level 10, he has a 25 movement speed.
I just think he's so damn squishy. Every time you're in a fight, you're like almost always dying, unless your positioning is like amazing when you think about it.
So, Suns fan, since you were the coin flipper, I want to ask you about this. We're now in Game 5. We have seen Spirit on Dire and Virtus.Pro on Radiant every single game this series. What's going on, man?
Have we? I haven't noticed, actually.
Well, I can confirm that, yes, it has been Spirit on Dire all 5 games.
They like their sides.
Yeah, that's pretty much what it comes down to.
Yeah, that's kind
of.
And
Team Spirit has almost always had first pick, I want to say. They've had 3 games. Last game was the first game VP had first pick. And now Team Spirit have it again.
Yeah, the IO ban coming.
What did they finish up on my thoughts, please? I'm sorry. I'm really sorry to change the subject. I literally, I'm not even. This isn't even exaggerating. I had an epiphany in the toilet.
Okay.
You know how that happens from time to time. A Weaver first pick.
The secret is to stand up while you're wiping.
It was more an epiphany about Dota, but thank you.
Great epiphany.
So you might hate this idea. You might think it's useless. I think it would be pretty cool to have the Serpent Wards have a burrow ability.
What?
So they make them invisible.
They're like lurkers, kind of? Sort of?
You burrow them. So how many times do you use wards and then half the duration is wasted and people just farm them?
I see what you're saying.
So you can burrow them, or you can use it offensively in some cases. You put the Serpent Wards before people get to the high ground. Somebody ends up stepping in the area.
So it saves the duration.
I mean,
that's actually pretty cool. If that was an Agham's ability and they got like Nyx burrow,
I mean,
I think it could be just part of the skill in general. It doesn't need to be an Ags.
Well, I don't know. All right. Well, I don't know how I feel about this. Last time they picked these 2 heroes, they got crushed.
Back to comfort zone for Team Secret, or Spirit rather. Sorry.
Yeah, but look at their lineup. Drow's super squishy. Weaver super squishy. You can blow those guys up.
That's true. That's
but
and now you have the opportunity to ban whoever. Like, who did they pick last time against IO Tiny?
They had Ursa.
That was the game they first picked Venno.
Yeah, it was like Venno, Ursa.
It was Venno, Ursa, Centaur, Sven, Keeper of the Light was the lineup they had against Tiny Wisp last time. I took notes.
Excellent work.
But Drow Weaver, great combo, of course. The extra damage from the Aura pairs very nicely with the Geminate attack. Could be a 4 Weaver, could be an off-lane core Weaver. Likely, I think, the roaming 4, but we'll see.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm interested here.
It's a classic anti-IO as always, so just take it up. You have the choice. Lil was the original support Weaver.
He was.
Oh, yeah.
Seems fitting that it would be him.
That's true. Classic. They also banned out the Broodmother, which, again, wasn't that big of a deal in the game they play, but it's a different lineup now for Virtus.Pro than it was previously, so I think it's probably a good ban.
It's down to a 2.55 payout for Secret. Or Spirit. Why do I keep saying Secret?
I don't know.
What the hell's wrong with me?
It's the 5th time you've done that.
Seriously. Spirit. Team Spirit. The dragon.
It's the S.
Spirit.
I have problems.
Team Period Spirit, actually. Much like Virtus.Pro.
The final
game. Well, what are the traditional counters to IO Tiny? Like Disruptor, right? Enigma, if you're going to be NA.
Winter Wyvern, still okay. Especially against
Doctor.
Witch Doctor's decent. Yeah.
Silencer.
Winter Wyvern's actually good for both teams. The anti-Drow hero, right? The Wyvern?
It is an anti-Drow, yeah. That's
Slardar.
That's a pretty classic one.
Slardar. Getting in his car.
I like. What do you guys think of Wyvern and Io on the same team? Like, it's double heal, but what about laning stage?
Your lockdown's really weak, though.
Yeah, you need to compensate with cores that have lockdown.
Well, you already have a Tiny with Toss Avalanche.
Yeah, no, I mean, they could try to work it in.
Not that that's enough, but I agree. Like, it can help. You definitely need another disable one way or the other. Like the Slardars you guys
if you pick a hero like Puck or something as one of your other cores that, can help compensate, stuff like that.
Sure, yeah.
But it's a little risky. Night Stalker and Brood Mama banned out by VP.
I like that Night Stalker ban. That Night Stalker's a pretty good ban, I think. They would just get run at and then relocated on top of it, and then Drow Weaver would pretty much be dead, especially if they get the silence off from the Night Stalker.
Yeah, plus we were already talking about how the Brood is the classic anti-drow, and then we already know how they like it for the scouting for the IO Tiny, so
Yeah.
very suitable removals here. Man, Weaver's actually so good this game because he's probably going to get eggs.
So in Game 3, when Team Spirit opened with Tiny IO, they also had Night Stalker and Broodmother on their team. So VP, very recent memory of that combo of heroes. Kind of ironic that VP dominated in that game, but still.
They crushed it.
Remember
there he is.
Counters on paper. Hey, Witch Doctor, all right.
So this works better than Disruptor too, just because they have this Drow lineup, right? So it's more sustain, which you don't get from Disruptor. He still works against the IO Tiny, and this facilitates an early push if you do start to snowball in your lanes.
And plus the physical damage, maybe Weaver's going to get a Desolator.
Mid-dying, something along those lines.
Whoa!
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense. I mean, are we under the assumption here, I think all of us think that this is going to be a support Weaver or something along those lines?
Yeah, he'll probably go Aghanims.
Yeah.
Seems
like maybe Medallion Aghanims.
Eggs.
Eggs.
All right.
The Megs Norm.
Egg Scepter.
I mean, it'll take a while for him to get, but he'll get there. But
Aghs Weaver is kind of dumb. I think it's too good.
Really?
It's super strong.
It
is terrifying.
It's
what
kind
is
of silly when you're
cooldown?
Yeah, you see heroes in this situation like, oh, he's dead 100%, and then all of a sudden, oh, hello, Fred. Oh, how about a time lapse?
Yeah, that's true.
It's just ridiculous.
I mean,
it's hard to farm.
That's what I was
going
to say. The thing that it is difficult to farm to get to that item.
Especially again, like Void, for example, it's just like the hard counter if you don't catch the Weaver. It's just like, oh, hello, friend. Doink.
Yeah.
Easy save.
Easy. So,
but they take
even
the
though they have
Stardar.
some magic damage, what do you guys think of a Timber Saw versus the 3 strength?
Whoa!
I mean, it's
Does
a lot
that
of bang
matter?
for your buck.
It's a good Timber game.
But then you have a Drow on your team. Does that matter?
Well, I think you still want some kind of a front liner
Yes.
if you have Drow.
That was like what people thought back in the day too. This is why they picked a lot of Brewmaster
Yeah.
with all Drow strats and stuff like that because you wanted that frontline tanky
Someone who
hero.
can peel, as they say, like an orange.
Okay. Is that the term? I didn't know that.
Peel.
I think the problem with Timber would be he doesn't offer a lot of control, and currently they're like when you get Weaver, he has no control as a support. He adds a lot of damage and he adds a lot of minus armor, so you might want to focus more onto some sort of a
how about
offlaner that
Centaur?
can offer control and physical damage.
That's a nice.
Of course, we would
frontliner.
say Tide if his ulti wasn't god awful.
Yeah, that hero seems to be more dead now.
No, but what about Centaur, Trent? Good against Tiny IO. Not bad to have with your Drow.
Yeah, with your Drow. No, I agree. He's not too shabby. I'm not hating it.
I guess it's not the most synergy with Weaver since he doesn't really need the Stampede, but still.
He also doesn't build armor aura, which you might be thinking about with the Slider on the enemy team.
That's fair.
Like a mech or something.
Whoa.
Okay.
Is that
All right.
mid?
I think that's
mid Rana?
off lane. I think it might be off lane Marana.
Oh,
And
really?
you just roam super early.
Okay.
But
Really?
we'll see.
Not a mid?
Interesting.
Yeah. I think it, well, I mean, it could be, but we used to see a lot of people do that. I just kind of liked it in those situations, but again, then they'd still be really lacking on lockdown. So you're not wrong. Marana, mid lane is the most common one, but there was a period where we were getting all these off lane Maranas who would like roam at level 3. But generally, that's when you see a safe lane that you don't feel like you can go up against, and I don't really see that here from Team Spirit, obviously. So
And there's
should just be
definitely
mid.
some credence to that because of just the nature of bounty runes, and a hero like Marana in the offlane will spend a lot of time off the map just farming neutrals. And
Yeah.
it can be hard to gauge whether that level 2 Marana is just farming neutrals or if she's hiding behind your mid lane ready to connect with an arrow. So you have that.
That's a no
They didn't go for it. This is
Okay.
the second day in a row I've seen this. I don't know what's
classic.
happening.
Wow,
But,
this is 4 strength heroes. I can't remember the last time I've seen this.
Timber Saw is so much pain for your buck.
Maybe you
Well,
need just ban
Timber
it, honestly.
against Doom, I don't know.
That's the one issue, isn't it?
What if they took Axe instead? It's still 3 melee and a Wisp.
You're not wrong.
Yo, Axe would actually be pretty sick for VP, actually. That would be a good
Rana
option.
mid axe
I
off
think
lane.
Axe or Centaur would possibly work.
Reserve time.
Centaur would shift up the lanes from what you guys are talking about. It
I
would make
kind
it
of
a
like
mid-bottom.
I kind of like Clockwork actually a lot this game.
Yep, also good. Cog's amazing to break up the heavy melee battles.
I think they have they have a number of choices now because they have all these melee heroes and these strength heroes for Spirit. So Virtus.Pro are actually in an okay position. I'm still very surprised they didn't ban there. That's kind of interesting, but
I don't think it was a choice.
no, I would imagine not. I'm interested if I don't think they DC'd or anything, did they?
Great
I
question,
don't
Mont.
think so.
No, he seems to.
Yeah,
the
they're-
chat
they're
says
still
he's
in
still
there.
there.
Okay.
So
Cool. Well, then, whatever. Team Spirit have a ban, though, coming out. We'll see what they want to get rid of. There's a number of choices we already touched on.
maybe just ban Sand King. That's a pretty stable offlaner. Again, I like your Clockwork idea though, just because he works well with the Cogs and the Drow Rangers. So
I'm kind of with Andrew on this one with the Axe pick. I think that's pretty good. But I mean, all of those can work very well. They'll go with the Omniband though. Interestingly enough.
Dire team pick.
Another decent offlaner. Hired to Doom.
Repel's pretty good this game too. I think. Yeah. So.
That's true. Repel is really good this game.
Yeah. But wow, we're completely out of reserve time here. So Spirit's gonna have to choose and choose soon.
And some flexibility with their lanes, but they take Lich.
Okay. Well.
So does this mean it's a core Doom, not an FNG Doom? So Phobos Doom?
I mean,
Could be
Yeah.
core Slardar.
well, yeah, the
Core
Slaughter
Slardar too. Yeah, all three.
Or is it the core Lich? Everybody.
Lich mid.
Let's go.
Bring it back, baby.
I
Bring
played
it back.
a core Lich game the other day, and it was a classic where my entire team yelled at me because I was the support going mid. Core Lich is badass, dude. You dominate lanes,
you win?
get all the experience.
No, he lost.
We didn't win, but
Yeah, exactly.
dare I say it wasn't
Oh,
Ooh.
nice call, bro.
Sand King.
Wow, Trenton does it again.
Wow.
Once
Well,
more. If you bet on
I mean,
Trenton,
I also
actually
said it
picking
could
the last
be.
pick,
Well, whatever. Thank you.
you're gonna
I
make
do
some
what I
money.
can.
Okay, guys, this is it. The big kahuna for all the marbles. Our first Betway show match to go the stretch. Who's taking it? We need some predictions. Show us the
Virtus.Pro.
I
way.
think Spirit's
Virtus.Pro.
going to take it, guys.
Really?
Spirit.
I'm thinking Virtus.Pro, honestly.
Now remember, if Spirit wins, there was a moment when you could have had a 9x payout on this. Let that be a lesson to you conservative
You know,
bettors out there.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take Sand and King and VP because I think the Doom's not gonna do enough to interrupt Sand King.
But it's
That's
Lich
my
Doom,
prediction.
the
That's my
classic dual
prediction?
offlane.
Just
I
saying.
believe in the underdog.
I'm
Alright.
actually going to go with Spirit as well. They scraped out a win in Game 4.
Jeez, you guys are such hipsters.
So we're
Come on,
right- we're-
VP.
we're
Show
right
'em
down
who's
the middle.
boss.
Lich-
Show them who won those
Hey,
qualifiers.
it's the 4-strength team, bro. I can't go against this.
It's Lich Doom. Do you guys remember how nasty that offlane is?
I mean,
They
it's
don't-
pretty
True,
good.
it
but
it is nasty.
It's pretty good.
Doom has no armor. Lich gives him armor. It's a match made in heaven.
Honestly-
it's like cookies with chocolate chips, Mott. They just go together.
It's hard to call. I just don't know. Like, this is.
It's hard to call.
I mean, what do you want me to say, man? It's a tough game.
I want you
It's
to
a tough
pick-
track. I said Virtus.Pro. I'm
Jesus
staying with Virtus.Pro.
Christ.
All right.
All right. I'm
All
staying
right.
there, but you're
Lord.
making me.
That's what I wanted, Mott. I wanted a bold, hard, a Virtus.Pro, 100%.
Jeez.
I mean, I'm
Alright.
just saying that it's going to be a very interesting game.
Mott's
Like,
Mafia, guys.
You guys chill the fuck out.
okay, you know what? I'm done here. Just get me out.
Are
I
you
think
Mafia?
get me
Mafia-
out.
Is that what's happening?
What?
Are
You
you
guys
the
are
Mafia?
favoring
I
Team
am.
Spirit. I'll tell you what's going to
Got
happen.
me.
This Slardar is going to struggle to buy Armlet or Blink, and he'll buy one, and it's going to be like he'll just be like, "Wow, I wish I had the other item." Because if he buys Blink, he's going to be too squishy when he blinks in.
All right. Well, time will tell if Trent Pax is a literal god or if he's wronger than shit. Here we go. It's Annie and Brax once again for Game 5.
Thank you very much, panel. Game number 5. It is all on the line here. Hard fought. Our first series to go all 5 games, as the panel mentioned. And, well, we certainly have an interesting lineup here already. We could have a run-in in the jungle. Witch Doctor, he knows something's up. There's good luck, have fun's going down, but Avalanche catches him out. It's all a disguise there. There's no having fun when you're about to be first blood. Anyway, I'm Annie, being joined by Brax. What's up, man? What do you think about these lineups?
I think Team Spirits is very, very interesting. They have the I don't know, it's just so weird. It looks like their lanes are gonna go to complete shit here.
You know, I don't disagree with you. I think putting the Slardar in such an ambitious position is dangerous. We saw it work out in game number 1 for VP, but still very high risk, high reward. It's all on the line here. The final game of the Betway King of the Hill show match.
Yep. One thing they do have going for them is that Witch Doctor leveled up the heal at level 1. He thought he was gonna die. Probably won't be the biggest deal, but it gives them some breathing room early on in the game. But like Sand King, no matter who he lanes against, he's gonna have a pretty decent lane. Melee is everywhere.
I mean, when do you think this Drow strat's going to be coming online for VP? Like, when are they actually going to be able to go through and start whooping butt? Because Team Spirit, they've got a pretty defensive lineup.
I think it'll mostly be like it'll enable the Weaver to really move around, because this Weaver actually can do a whole lot this game. They have like Slaughter Stun and Doom later on in the game, but for like really early parts of the game, he can pretty much just go wherever he wants.
Yeah, definitely going to be free. And now our mid Mirana. Our panel had our doubts about this, but it looks like it will be played up by no one. And do you think he's going to be getting a whole lot of help? Is Witch Doctor going to be babysitting him, or can Mirana do this solo?
Yeah, like Witch Doctor isn't needed top at all, so Witch Doctor's just gonna sit mid, and then Weaver's gonna side pull, get his level 2, and then he can go between like mid and bottom, wherever he thinks he can get kills.
Yeah, bottom lane. I mean, Pasha, he's got his work cut out for him. Already leveled up the Caustic Finale, and he'll grab up the Burrow Strike soon, so it won't be that tough, but his levels are going to be a little stunted as Lich, just going to be sacrificing up a Storm here.
Yep, still nothing here he needs to worry about in the bottom lane. He should have pretty good control over that lane.
Oh, mid lane though. We got Mirana getting avalanched up, but now Iceberg stuck here. Witch Doctor doing a fair amount. The arrow going to be sliding right past though, so Solo just spraying out some heals, keeping the Mirana healthy, and he'll go back and pick himself up an Iron Branch tree.
Yup, Team Spirit have so many laning issues this game. Free farm on Drow, free farm mid, free farm in the safe lane pretty much.
Yeah, this is really scary. The Drow Weaver lane getting off to a ridiculously good start. Down bottom, Pasha, I mean, definitely holding his own. Meanwhile, mid lane, another avalanche splashing out. Iceberg really trying to make it happen, but can't seem to slow down anyone one bit. He's only picked himself up 3 last hits as a Tiny here, just getting completely zoned out. I mean, what does Spirit have to do to win these lanes? Clearly, they're going to have to take some cuts, and in favor of the mid game, having stronger team fight, having a more, defensive lineup. How do they salvage this?
So, once Slaughter has some levels, Wiz can rotate down, and they can 3-man gank the Sand King, but it still might be a little bit of a hard kill. Wisp are very good at stacking the jungle to help accelerate Tiny's farm. He's definitely going to need to do that to help get him to his Blink Dagger. Once he gets to his Blink Dagger, he actually has a lot of targets he can one-shot. All these heroes are extremely squishy, right? But the problem is, of course, getting there.
Oh, bottom lane. Pasha might have just done enough there. Will be able to find the kill. The solo Sand King against a Lich Slardar lane. Raking in the blood, and that's not even talking about up top where we got a Drow Weaver off to a crazy start. Now Mirana going in for a kill on a Tiny. Looks like the Wisp will be there, but not going to be giving out enough heals to save his buddy. So all of a sudden 2-0 for VP. Their lane's off to a phenomenal start.
Yup, a very nice last pick from VP, the Sand King. Pretty much no matter who he went up against this game, he's going to have a great lane.
Oh. Yeah, Sand King, one of your favorites, right, Brax?
No, I hate the hero, actually.
You played him every single game when we were pubbing together. Yeah, so, I mean, Pasha, he's just going to have to salve up here, but really no trouble at all. Keeping pace in terms of last hits, beating out the mid-Tiny. I mean, he is just having the time of his life. Drow, Mirana on the top of the chart there, so definitely make sure they get what they need. Ramses with a good pullback here as well. So
Yup, once Team Spirit can hopefully save their lanes, maybe they can turn that into something, but for now, looks like it's going to be pretty slow for them.
Down bottom, Pasha taking a fair amount of damage. He's pretty much out of regen, spare a couple magic stick charges, so maybe needing to go take a trip to the shrine as he could use some more mana as well. And we'll see what kind of vulnerability that's going to open up. We've got Vanscore rotating in with FNG, very deep here, wanting to make sure they can keep some control. They've got this bottom jungle pretty warded up, but again, they just can't allocate resources to slowing down these cores that are going crazy. Ramses now 26 last hits.
Yep, mid lane actually not going that bad for Team Spirit anymore. They're starting to farm at a pretty decent rate. They've already got 1 jungle stack for the Tiny. So, not too bad.
Yep, they definitely got to keep the Mirana under wraps, though. She's already picked up her full Aquila, and, well, Tiny just tossing everyone around. Down bottom, Pasha getting low, will get crushed up, and the Lich, does he have enough damage to do it? He's thinking about that Frost Blast. They need eyes on him, though. Pasha will go down. BZZ having difficulty getting out from underneath the tower. The Bug's going to be doing enough. BZZ can't run away, and now FNG going to fall victim as well. That's a double kill for your support Weaver. So, little trade there. Definitely going to go the way of VP as they're able to rotate down the Weaver, who now scores up bunches of free farm and experience.
Yeah, that's a hero I forgot about as a support entirely, actually, the Weaver.
Yeah, that's Lil's staple. He really brought that onto the scene.
Yep. It's definitely a very nice hero in this game. The Ag's time-lapse counters a lot of what Team Spirit's draft does.
And he'll have pretty carry tier damage with Drow's Aura helping him out. Now Pasha taking some heat here. Again, only relying on magic stick charges. Oh, mid lane though. We've got tosses back down. They do get the coconut bouncing. They arrow him up, stacking stuns onto Vanscore, but it's going to be enough to isolate him. And now the bugs come through. Iceberg, he is in some serious trouble. And finally, no one finds the kill. So 6-1, definitely a disparity starting to open itself up here. And this is before the Drow strat really comes online. 3 points in Precision Aura, and still only level 5 for Drow. We haven't even seen the marksmanship damage.
Yep, once she gets that ultimate, Weaver's gonna like two-shot all these heroes pretty much.
Very, very dangerous. I mean, Spirit, now that we've seen that the lanes aren't really going their way, how do you just play as 5? Do you try to just go together, split push, smoke gank? What's the plan?
They can't really like go as 5 right now. They just need to keep trying to
look at this hasted Sand King. He is
dangerous.
Given no bothers, just chasing down that Slardar. He is on top of the world. Gonna be forcing out a shrine right there. Getting your teacups in line, Brex?
No, it's actually not me.
Damn it, Sunsfan. Alright.
Yeah, so they pretty much, they just have to keep laning. They can't do anything until they get their ultimates. Like, Lich level 6 is important, Relocate's important. They're gonna have a lot of stacks in the jungle. This will help Tiny get to his blink much faster. And then that's when they can, like, actually start to play the game. But until then, they're kind of just trying to stop the bleeding here, trying not to die so much. And just, you know, they need time.
Yeah, definitely
They're trying to survive.
I mean, the good news about this is, as opposed to the last game where we saw Tiny Wisp, there are more targets to easily relocate and kill. They're not going to be wadded together as 5 100% of the time, and they're a little less tanky overall. So maybe some
they're definitely
really
very
clutch
vulnerable.
relocate ganks could make this happen. Now TP down from the Witch Doctor, as there's a little heat building up in this bottom lane. Going to be a 3 versus 3. And we'll see who's going to be getting the jump. Slardar, I mean, he's going for the armlet first. Definitely needs that fighting item before he can think about being the blink initiator. BZZ got a lot of weight on his shoulders, as he's going to be responsible for a good amount of the damage in this game before Tiny can really come online.
Right, he knows that he doesn't need to build blink first because Tiny is rushing the blink.
Oh, there we go. Initiation onto BZZ. Pasha, though, just going to be taking a little bit of harass as fights are happening elsewhere. Weaver just scuttling around, getting eyes on Doom rotating in, so some safe play coming up from VP now.
Look at the jungle for Team Spirit. It is so stacked.
Damn. I mean, Tiny, he's definitely gonna get a lot of money off of this. It should be his blink dagger if he finishes both of these camps. Just gotta make sure he stays alive.
It should be about 1,000 gold.
Meanwhile, down bottom, Chase coming in. Drow Ranger ready to start peeling apart these towers. And they know that Spirit just don't have the resources to focus him down. You gotta have Tiny Wisp sticking together. Tiny can't take this alone. So even through Frost Armor, this tier 1 still melting low. We are only 8.5 minutes into the game, so pretty early for a big rotation like this, and well, it will pay off for VP.
Yep, they know once Tiny has his blink that they'll have to be a bit more careful in these fights, and they just need to get everything they can until then. Raindrops are a fantastic item against Tiny.
Yeah, look at that. Mirana just eats up a charge there, not going to be taking too much damage from that toss back, so everyone just going back to farming. Our Mirana got her Ags queued up, no surprises there. Opts to finish up the phase boots as well as the Ring of Aquila and the bottle, so I mean, not absolute bloody rush on the Ags, but she'll still get it very quickly.
Yep. While with Tiny Jungle, their mid tower is exposed, it's also going to die, but you know, it's something they'll just have to trade. Tiny's about 400 gold off his blink now. Still, it's just like, he needs this so badly before they can really do anything.
Yeah, he's pretty much giving up a totally free lane to Mirana as he just can't lane. He can't risk losing that much gold right now. Meanwhile, Lil, our support Weaver, finding some space for himself. He's picked up his level 6, so he's got his own time lapse, and eventually he'll be thinking about the Aghanim Scepter for his teammates. How's our Doom doing? Like, what does he need to do to be super impactful? Who's his ideal Doom target?
He would definitely like to get the either the Weaver or the Sand King. All of them are pretty good Doom targets aside from the Drow. But his main goal right now is just to tank up as much as possible. He's got the Ogre Frostmage creep, the Ice Armor. 18 armor already at 10 minutes in the game.
That's pretty nice.
Yeah, so he just wants to get tanky so we can run in the front, run at the Drow, remove some of her damage from marksmanship, and just soak up as much damage as possible.
Currently everyone on VP farming up. They feel really safe. Again, kill score still 6-1. We've taken a brief pause in the bloodshed. Overall net worth, though, at only 10 minutes in, 6,000 in favor of VP right now. That is
6,000 is a lot.
That is triple the net worth difference we saw at 28 minutes last game.
Yep, although Team Spirit do have their Blink Dagger now. They have something going for them, which is nice.
Yeah, it would be so unfortunate if Iceberg got killed off here, as all of the Radiant heroes are in. There is going to be a double-man avalanche. Can they turn this around, though? Dishing out the buggies. He's going to be able to sidestep most of them. Does get clipped, and they're just going to relocate away from this. They don't want to deal with it. They're grouping up. Pasha is going to be ready to go in. Has the Sandstorm, has the Burrow Strike, bringing the Tiny back. I feel would be a very...
They want to fight this.
They do. They are going to bring the Tiny forward as, well, they're going in, and, well, Burrow Strike into the epicenter is going to end. They don't quite get the kills they need. Ramsey's actually in trouble, eating up tower shots left and right. Drow Ranger, the first casualty here. Solo looks to be going down next. Iceberg able to rack in a kill for himself, and now they've trapped Mirana in the trees. She's tossed up, slapped down. That's going to be a 4-for-0. Fantastic fight for Spirit. I think VP just got a little too aggressive under the tier 2s at 11 minutes.
Yeah, nice play from Team Spirit deciding to port in smoke and fight that. They were not expecting them to take that engagement at all.
Very, very risky there. So Spirit, they definitely get a lot out of that. Overall net worth swing, piling it down towards even, but still a ways to go. They need to have a couple more fights like that before they're on even footing.
Yep, but now with the Blink Dagger, they can definitely look for pickoffs and take some of these fights. Started with the Armlet, very, very tanky. Looks like he wants to set up on this Drow Ranger bottom. They don't have relocate yet, it's up in 20 seconds.
They're getting good eyes on what's going on here and see that Solo joins up with him, so maybe a little bit risky to go after both of those. Witch Doctor picks up his level 6, but still sitting without his ultimate.
Up top, low and looking at Phobos.
Yep, just trying to chase him down. Scorched Earth, I mean, he is just so tanky now. There's going to be a rotation in. Iceberg really wants this kill, and oh, toss up. They've got the Avalanche as well to hold him in place, and Doom helps out there. Iceberg gets another kill for himself now, 2-2-1, so that difficult laning phase is behind him as he's picked up his Blink and really starting to have an impact.
Yeah, you can't even tell that his lane phase was difficult anymore. It looks like he's been doing just fine the entire game.
Alright, so VP, I mean, they're lacking a little bit of momentum now. Of course, their Drow lineup hasn't hit its full potential. Look at that. Witch Doctor just taking it. There is going to be the Burrow Strike follow-up, and, well, BZZ in some serious trouble. Relocate comes in from Tiny and Wisp, and, oh, Lich bouncing around a nice ult there, but against the neutral creeps, is it going to do enough? Pasha reinitiates with his last breath, allowing potentially Ramses to find a kill. There is going to be that relocate ending. FNG looks to be the next logical target here. And one more hit from the Weaver will take him out. So trading the Sand King for 2 heroes, still not bad from VP.
Yeah, not bad at all. They waited a long time hoping for the relocate. Like, Sand King could have stunned at any time there, but he waited till the last possible second before Witch Doctor would die. Trying to bait out that relocate. Nice silence on the relocate as well. And, yeah, they baited quite a nice fight.
So, I mean, how's the momentum looking here? I mean, kill score relatively even from that 6-1 start we had. I mean, who's got the better game now? Who's going to be riding that wave?
So, one thing VP have going for them is their Weaver is basically a core. He's farming lanes. He's going to get many items this game. So they're not too concerned about, like, late game or anything, but they want to not feed to the Tiny Blink Dagger. So you can see that they're not as aggressive on the map. They're more huddled together now. They don't really want to play on the side lanes to get picked off. Looks like they're flying in a smoke right now. Yep, there it is.
Alright, so
and,
VP...
now it's go time.
Yeah, they've got to find something here. The Tiny is on his own without his Wisp buddy, but not a whole lot of ways to know that. Wisp now TPing in, immediately tethers to Iceberg, and oh, the blink away. The coconut still clips him. It's not going to bounce, but it's just a little bit too deep for VP to go in right now. They've learned their lesson from that last big fight that they just totally
Team
threw.
Spirit smoked up, coming in from the bottom side. I don't know what they can catch here. No one does have the leap available.
It's just all about that surprise factor. And we'll see. There is going to be the tiny blink initiation onto our Drow Ranger. Lich ult bouncing every which way, and they do stun up the Witch Doctor. Could be a nice easy kill there. Solo healing his way through it. There is a Doom onto the Weaver, but he's still relatively healthy, dishing out the damage. Now Drow Ranger, like a sentry turret from the back lines, will be able to TP out. They can't get there quick enough to crush him. So, in the end, it's going to be another 2 for 2. In terms of overall fight recap, it looks like that goes handily the way of Spirit.
Yeah, could have gone a bit worse for VP there. Hard to take that fight on the shrine. But yeah, Slaughter, once he gets to Blink Dagger, I think team fights for VP are going to be extremely difficult.
Yeah, that armlet already doing so much work, and he's only 1,000 gold off from Blink, so just a couple more minutes in the woods and he'll feel great. But, you know, about 20 minutes is when we're going to start seeing that Drow get real scary. She's very close to that level 12, and now second point in marksmanship. She is hitting hard.
Yeah, we've seen in both of these fights, Doom has been able to cast his ultimate on Weaver in both of these fights, really limiting how much Weaver can do. Weaver does so much damage right now. And they're doing Roshan.
Yep.
This is fantastic for VP. Dies so fast.
Yeah, this is this is silly amounts of Roche taking ability, and that's the other team. Slardar didn't even help out with that, so just gonna be medallions galore. And now they're smoked up, ready to push, ready to find some kills for themselves. They know that there's at least 2 heroes down bottom, but I like this wraparound here, good positioning. They're gonna Moonlight Shadow as well, so getting extra information after their smoke pops, and they go forward. The Burrow Strike off the mark there. Fanscore just neatly backing off as well. They will go in, they will be able to gust up the Doom. He doesn't have his ultimate ready, so it looks like DK Phobos will be the trade that they need. Are they going to keep initiating here? BZZ, he's so close to his blink, but oh, ult bouncing around from the Lich, from the Ancients and back, and now ricocheting between these two underneath the shrine. This is a very aggressive fight. No one now getting low will leap down to the low ground, as it's just Lil left in the heart of the fight. Already sprayed out the bugs. They go for the toss onto the Weaver. Doesn't have the time lapse. Scoochie's there, but they can't get it off in time, so that's going to be a double kill for Iceberg. This Tiny off to a really great start. Very, very close to that Aghanims. Will pick it up after this wave.
Man, that was even with them, with VP killing the Doom off right away. He didn't even have Doom in the fight.
I mean, is this...
This is getting pretty scary for VP. Like, that was with Aegis as well.
That was, I mean, VP in the draft, they put it all in the push basket. They built a nice little Drow strat for themselves, counting on the Weaver becoming, you know, an extra core and doing a ton of damage. But Spirit is just doing a ton of work right now, reading them like a book.
Yep, Slaughter 50 gold away from his Blink Dagger as well. Team Spirit are playing these fights very well. They're baiting VP to, like, come into them, so Tiny can just, you know, sit back, wait to combo a very squishy target, get amp off and everything.
This feels
it's
like
nice.
A very different Tiny Wisp game than, what was it, game number 2 where we saw it come out? No, game 3?
Game something.
Thanks, Brax.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I think it was 3.
It was 3 according to Mod. But yeah, very, very good teamwork here. And now they may put this to the test as Wisp is backing off and Tiny gonna be blinking his way to safety. Solo, he's trying his luck with the coconut. They will be able to go, and oh! Arrow just slides right by, and that was really the initiation they needed. There will be a relocate out, and very similar to the fight that we saw earlier on at 11 minutes. I think Tiny's going to be coming back in.
Down bottom, actually.
Yeah, just applying some
push
split
out the wave
push.
before they come back.
Yep, there we go. Tiny will be getting back into this. Arrow does clip onto the Lich. Meanwhile, Slardar are going to be eating up a lot of damage. Now he's already got his blink, but there's the initiation in from Pasha. They do have the epicenter ready, but Pasha is getting very, very low. This Lich ult doing so much work. And now the stun up, they pop the Drow's Aegis. And Weaver, he's doomed. He's just right-clicking for all he's worth. Witch Doctor goes in, unleashes the ult, and it's doing a fair amount of work against Iceberg now. Marana with a nice Starstorm is able to do something, but Avalanche will finish off the Weaver. Iceberg getting so low. He's taking an urn, and Wisp just trying to run away. They will be able to secure a triple kill for Iceberg before he falls, but Team Spirit do get totally wiped and allow no one, the only survivor on the whole map, to take the tier 2.
That's what I was talking about, like, in the previous fights, they kind of baited VP into running at them. That way they don't get, like, a really strong cask off. That cask in that fight destroyed Doom and, Slaughter in that fight. They were just stun locked for like 5 seconds. And it's actually really important that VP feel forced to run into Team Spirit's lineup so they don't get, you know, two-man cast like that, or Sand King lines up like a good stun. You know, if it's only like one target, it's much less effective.
Yeah, let's
So yeah,
talk.
VP come on top in that fight.
Yeah, that was very, very nice. Let's talk a bit about this Lich, because it seems like, you know, he's not a super standard pick, really strong in lanes, but he's bringing a fantastic ult to these fights in the mid game. How does he keep that up? How does he ride that momentum?
Well, it definitely starts with him, like waiting for his other heroes to run in first. Speaking of Lich, goodbye.
Come on, buddy.
He's baiting actually for the relocate.
They will get the relocate off, and now Leap already forced out from Mirana. She's in some trouble, just wanting to finish off Lich before she goes down, but her corpse hits the floor, and FNG still alive, taking an earn charge from Vanscore.
Alright, big streak for no one there. Or sorry, for Iceberg.
Yeah, that's like 570 gold straight in his pockets. So our Tiny, I mean, this is having a phenomenal impact. This is what you want out of a Wisp Tiny. The relocates are on point. They're very active around the map. The Ag's blink came out very well timed, and now he's thinking about an Assault Cuirass. Is that the right choice here?
I'm a big hater of the Ags on Tiny. I think it's a late game build. It's not like I'm gonna go and fight kind of thing. Typically you don't need like the big splash damage at this stage of the game.
Ooh, nice blink away. He still will take a coconut to the skull, and there is a rotation in. Smoked up Lich and Slardar want to make the plays here. They are going to ping out the Drow Ranger as their target. See if Solo can be the man he needs to here. We got observers everywhere, so everyone sees what's happening on this cliff. The Tiny focused down. Can he get out in time? He will be picked off. Meanwhile, BZZ focused down by Ramses, and they just follow him there. Moonlight Shadow comes in. The Radiant, now they're going to be sneaky. Slardar with the armlet toggle survives the initiation by the Drow. Meanwhile, no one does find the pick onto the Io. He can't get out here. And now Lil comes forward, will find the pick onto the Slardar, looking for the Doom as well. That's a greedy play, as Doom is so tanky and has the Doom available. Lil has to be real careful here. He pops into the Scorched Earth. DK Phobo has taken a lot of damage now with the Solar Crest on him. He's going to Ice Armor himself, and that's going to be enough to force the Weaver back. But this tier 2 now going to be vulnerable as the wave comes up, and Drow Ranger hitting at a whole heck of a lot of damage there. Almost 300.
Yep. That was a fight there without the relocate available on the IO. It was about 5 seconds off, so he couldn't save his Tiny, unfortunately.
So VP still finding a pretty good footing there. It's not totally out of their grasp in terms of overall net worth. Still about 6,000 in their favor, but you can see this kind of lull in momentum as Tiny started to get really big.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of the way No-Tail plays Tiny. The way he chooses to itemize with like Shadow Blade, Butterfly. These really strong fighting items. Axe doesn't really give you a whole lot of stats. It gives you the cleave to farm with and hit buildings, which is also good, especially in this sort of game where Tiny needs to be like a really big carry.
Was
so
it OG?
It might be the right choice.
Was it OG that used to pick Tiny with the Alchemist so you could synth the Ag Scepter?
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that. And now, here we go. Team Spirit smoked up, looking to take a fight, swinging back their way, and they do have the split push going on top as Iceberg just cleaning up this wave. So we'll see if Spirit are going to rotate or if they're going to try to push their advantage here. Looks like mass TP's coming back in. They're going to go for the long rotate around with their smoke. The scan does reveal that everyone's huddling here in the side shop.
Yep, Lil trying to break the smoke, just invising out periodically.
Moonlight Shadow coming forward. This is going to be pretty difficult, but they've dropped down a sentry right at the start of the fight. And now Drow Ranger just goes to work onto the Slardar, but she is picked off by 4 heroes. They have definitely got their teamwork together, and now Lil just scooting on through this fight. Somehow BZZ doesn't die. He uses his armlet so smart, and they are able to take out the Witch Doctor as well. Blinking away from the rest of the teammates as Spirit. They sacrificed their Lich for a core and a support. Still worthwhile as BZZ's up and ready to fight. So, again, this is just Spirit really raking in the momentum right now and taking some really good fights. And how does VP come in from this? Because they've got a Drow strat, and their Weaver and Drow can continue to scale along with their Mirana, but their lineup as a whole is going to feel a little more flimsy up against this tiny late game.
Yeah, outside the Mirana and the Sand King, they don't really have any magic damage, and pretty much all of Team Spirit's heroes are sitting on like 30 armor.
It's difficult now, Spirit. They're giving away very little. They're playing this one so smart, and Tiny now very close to that Assault Cuirass, just about 60 gold away, and that's all his. There he goes, buying it up.
Yep, Drow went for the Diffusal Blade. I think it's very smart this game. He can purge off the Ice Armor, which is actually, it's a big problem.
That's huge.
All these heroes have so much armor, and unless Sand King gets, you know, even if he gets the Epi off, it's only... Alright, time to bring out some math. It's only 880 damage before reductions, which, you know, is a decent amount, but Tiny's got 2500 HP, along with the IO heals and damage reduction. Slaughter has a bunch of HP as well. Doom, same thing. Lots of HP, lots of heal from the Scorched Earth. It's just, these heroes are so beefy right now that they just can't sit there and kill them.
Moonlight Shadow committed as Tiny shows himself mid lane. Sand King got a bit of a spook, and, well, that's, I guess, Moonlight Shadow down for a minute and a half, but not the most valuable cooldown.
Yep, both teams probably just waiting for Roshan at this point. It's going to be up very, very soon.
Yep, bit of a longer respawn here. Tiny, with his Assault Cuirass finished, he's eyeing up the BKBs, so he just wants to be super immortal. He's so tanky already. With the IO on him, he's just very difficult to focus down. It's going to take, you know, Drow, Witch Doctor ult, Sand King disabling him, and, well, that's freedom for BZZ to go in and just keep you crushed up, keep you on your toes. Roche now scouted out by the Dire. Radiant going to be pinging it out too. They know what's up. And this could be our next bloody battle. Arrow shooting through from Mirana. Won't find anything. I mean, how did both teams get this started? It looks like Iceberg, he's just going straight in with the ice armor. And they've got that amp damage on the Roche, so it's melting quick. Can Radiant afford to just sit back and smoke up and take this slow? Because Roche is already half health.
Yeah, they need to act quickly before Roshan falls.
Mirana hits the arrow onto the Roche, definitely helping out the Dire there. And there we go, the bug spraying into the pit. Tiny going to be dodging him out, still working on the Roche, and there's going to be the Epi coming forward. They will do a fair amount of damage. The Lich brought down, but Iceberg still up, still fighting. Relocate out, as Wisp just wants to keep everyone safe, fighting under Shrine. They're all going to be going back in, and there's the toss-up onto the Sand King. They take him down. BZZ blinking around, looking for the crush. Won't find the Weaver just yet. Trying to keep vision on him. DK Phobos already used the Doom up. So he's just going to be going and clearing out this wave. Roche is pretty eager to get back in on this fight. He's sitting at about a third health, and Dire should be able to go claim their prize as Drow's still in the grave for 50 seconds.
Yeah, they just can't go on the Tiny, and when they're positioned like that around the pit, just sitting behind them, there's really no way for them to get into the back lines there.
Alright, Iceberg now with an Aegis of the Immortal, 2k gold on top of that. His BKB very, very close, and I mean, he is just huge in terms of net worth, way top of the chart. Now surpassing the Mirana, surpassing the Drow. How does VP get back in this?
They need to find a way to get in the back to kill the Wisp. Once the Wisp is killed, it becomes easier to kite the Tiny, but of course he's close to his BKB now, and he has the Aegis, so once he has those items, once he has the BKB, it's going to be hard to kite him in these fights. But yeah, pretty much the only hope is just to kill Wisp, but even Wisp is tanky. 20 armor, 1600 HP, very, very hard.
Now split push coming in as no one's starting to hammer on the tier 3s. You've got Lil doing some work onto the tier 2s, so Tiny just going to take the tier 2 and back off safely. Not going to get too cocky, look for high ground now. Weaver though, trying to move in. The arrow does connect onto Tiny, making sure that TP isn't happening anytime soon, and they do go after Vanscore. Now Iceberg, he's left without an ambulance. They bring in every hero they've got, but look at this Lich ult going to be bouncing around, and they can't disable it just yet. Iceberg, he's still alive, will finally drop on the back lines, though. DK Phobos hunting for more. BZZ will find himself a kill on the Pasha. Tiny comes in, and, well, they're looking to chase down the rest of the Radiant. No one going to be going in. They will find the kill onto this Doom. He's tanky, but he can't live through all that. So in the end, just an Aegis burned and 2 heroes dead. It could have been a lot bloodier, but VP, they're showing some signs of life. Seriously.
Yeah, could have been way worse. The Wisp died instantly in that fight. Good thing Tiny had Aegis there. He'll be, he's pretty close to BKB, so I think it'll be extremely difficult to take him down in these future fights. But yeah, that's exactly what they need to catch the Wisp off guard and just kill him instantly.
Yeah, I mean, kill score totally evened out. Net worth within a couple gold of being completely even. This is a very, very tight game at 30 minutes in. The problem is this Tiny is just scaling so well. I don't know if VP have got the heroes to take this ultra late. I mean, Lil, he's doing a good job for himself now with the Aghanim Scepter as well, so There's the teammate save they were looking forward to.
I'll take that.
Yup. Once if VP can manage to get enough items to get through like the 30 armor that all these heroes on Team Spirit have, then maybe they'll have a pretty good chance of taking these fights. But until they have enough damage, it's really problematic for them.
I mean, Tiny, he's getting pretty slotted. What does he go for here? He's got the fresh BKB. He can definitely replace the Quelling Blade, could pick up Boots of Travels, and now with the Moon Shard changes, he can just feed his teammates. Ooh. Pasha. Very, very ballsy initiation, just kind of letting Tiny know what's up. Moonlight Shadow keeps him safe, and Spirit, they're just going to retreat over here to their safe spot. So Spirit, they've got a big challenge there. They got to keep up this momentum. They fought a lot of hard fights. Again, the net worth in their favor for the first time this game. Radiant, they go for a scan and will reveal 2 heroes on this high ground, dewarding the sentry right here. But it's not quite a big enough opening for Radiant to go in and take a fight there.
Yep, I think maybe with Drow's next item, like after the Silver Edge, they'll have enough damage to take down this raid boss Tiny. But it's pretty hard right now.
Oh, top lane, Mirana carefully juking out Iceberg's initiation. The Blink Mirana is, I like it. She's got a Lincoln Sphere now as well, so she's trying to just be very slippery on the back lines of these fights. And slippery Mirana with a Weaver who has an Ags, that is a very difficult team to get on top of. Oh. Mid lane getting a little bit heated right now, but I don't think we're going to see anything too crazy. I mean, is this game going to be one of those that pulses around the Roshan? Is it going to be, you know, everyone goes back and farms, then when Rosh is up, it's going to get, you know, these massive 10-on-10 fights as everyone buys back and throws themselves at the Rosh pit? Or are we going to see some, you know, split push and normal Dota things?
It's definitely going to be a combination of both. Split push until Rosh hands up, and then once it's up, both teams are going to be looking directly at it. So Team Spirit know that Weaver has Aghanims. Tiny is a bit more careful and reserved when it comes to going for these solo kills and ganks and stuff, and VP are still just trying to farm as much as they can while trying to catch out the IO. That's why Mirana's gonna randomly cast Moonlight Shadow all these times, just arrowing the back, trying to find IO in the trees or something. But yeah, just farming it out for both teams until Roshan comes up. It's probably gonna be the play.
Speaking of hiding in the trees, Pasha's just been chilling down here for a little bit, and we'll see if DK Phobos is going to find him. Oh, they do ping him out. I know he's there, and he's going to be blinking away, forcing rotations in from pretty much everyone, so definitely buying a lot of space for his team to keep pushing out mid and top. Mirana now, Ethereal Blade picked up.
Yeah, big pickup. She can pretty much one-shot the Wisp right now. Wisp is going for the Crimson Guard. It's about 50 gold off.
Is that Crimson Guard going to be enough to negate the damage from, you know, Weaver and Drow wailing away at you?
Probably not, but it's a pretty good purchase. I think it's the Ghost Scepter might be better, or just as good, but it's definitely good. He just wants to tank up as well, make it really hard for him to die in these fights.
Everything on the line here for game number 5. No one wants to be, you know, the person to crazy initiate and throw the fight, so playing it safe, continuing the farm up. Looks like Tiny's picked up a Chrysalis, so he's not messing around. He wants to just bring the damage while he still can. Meanwhile,
I wonder if he'll go for the Bloodthorn instead to silence the Weaver.
We'll see.
Probably not.
He hasn't had anything queued up, so he's just taking his time here. Probably wanted to save for buyback as well. About 700 off of that. DK Phobos going pretty deep in Radiant Turf, just walking onto the Drow Ranger. They do end up getting the Doom off, and now Tiny comes in. She is just putty in their hands. Very easy kill, and she's down for 70 seconds, no buyback. This is a great time to initiate. Witch Doctor picked off in 2 hits. And it looks like they're just going to leave everyone else there. They're going to go in for this tier 2 bottom as Mirana looks to make a play onto Vanskor here through the Crimson Guard. She's just not doing enough right-click damage. And the TP back from the Slardar will slow down the pace, but at least forcing out some rotations, so the bottom tier 2 still stands.
Yep, very nice. Creates some space, forces the TPs. Tiny's got a haste rune now, clearing out some of these waves. Lil was so close to getting the Weaver ultimate off onto the Drow there, but unfortunately not quick enough.
Yeah, I mean, we...
Feels like they lose all of their team fight when Drow dies, like Weaver.
Oh,
Goes
man.
back to dealing 0 damage.
There's a Moonlight Shadow in here, but it's only going to last for so long, and no one and Pasha are in crazy deep. They both got TPs, and, well, no one will find a nice juicy kill onto FNG and TP out immediately. So, good use of that Ethereal Blade, just keeping Lich down. Nothing big going to happen in the next 40 seconds while he's respawning. Aegis very close to expiring. We'll see if it's going to be a long or short Roche, which could really set the pace of this game.
Yeah, game is very tense right now. Both teams just trying to get what they can. Hopefully, you know, they're both hoping to make the better move when it comes to Roche. Trying to just take the fight there.
A soldier's fortune.
So, a little bit of downtime here. Everyone farming up. I mean, our Tiny's close to capped out. He's got some more room to grow now with 1,300 gold on top of buyback. At what point does he start feeding moon shards to people?
Probably when there's like 7 slotted after he has like Boots of Travel. And everything else.
Well, this tier 1 has stood altogether too long. Tiny takes it down in one hit, doing about 25% of that tower's damage. And Radiant, they're posturing up to try to make a play mid lane, but TP's back are going to make that difficult. Spirit doing a really good job just corralling VP, making sure they can't push at any time, spreading their resources out, and keeping them on their toes.
Yep, Spirit were hoping that a lonely Lich showed his face mid lane so they could just burst him instantly. Doom, very tanky, impossible for them to just kill and get out quick enough.
Another Moonlight Shadow comes in as Mirana is just very, very far forward, maybe looking for another pick like the one she got on that Lich, but this time Lich is sticking with a buddy. Gonna be a lot more difficult to plop him down, and well, Sentry put out. They still don't have high ground vision of her, but well, now they're catch her out. There we go. You can see how much damage that one just Starstorm does. And the arrow gets so close. They're gonna doom the Weaver illusion. That's down for a while now. 140 seconds with no doom because they got a little over aggressive on that very low health illusion.
Yeah, and now Roshan's up too. This might be the window they need.
They're thinking about it, but they sure would like to get a pick up before they can go in and... Oh, they catch the Wisp TP at the very last second. Vanscore will fall down, and that's just what they need to go in here. 70 seconds, no Wisp, no buyback. There's no ambulance here for the Tiny, so Spirit have to play this so cautiously. Lil teasing out that Roshan initiation, and finally lets it go. They're taking this down so incredibly quickly with that Solar Crest.
Yep, that's all it takes for them to secure Roshan. One quick pick, one blown cooldown, and now they look pretty decent actually.
Yep, overall net worth going to be probably crawling back to the Radiant side here. Now, down bottom, Solo has to be pretty careful. That is a squishy Witch Doctor. Yeah, he's invisible, but he's not immortal. He's going to walk underneath the sentry here. Oh my gosh, look at him get blown up. Tossing the Slardar up for funsies. Now,
alright, goodbye.
Both teams support down. We are going to have Mirana continuing to press forward here, wants to at least force some rotations back for this tier 3. But Tiny content just to keep farming up this tier 2. Fortify spent out from the Radiant. Can they actually win this? There's a blink back. Sand King completely zoned out by DK Phobos, and looks like that tier 2 will fall. Mirana, again, exerting some pressure onto the tier 3 here, but Team Spirit want to see what they can do with this momentum.
Dire's middle tower is under attack. Shadows take us.
Yeah, they need to deal with these lanes first. Mirana can take racks so quickly right now. She hits for 350 damage, right click. So, yeah, she's got the... Do you know which one is more common between the level 25 Mirana talents, the multi-shot or the leap attack speed?
I've seen mostly leap attack speed, but this is CIS Dota. Like, anything goes here. I think you just want more arrows in the fight because it's more of a chance that it hits someone.
Alright, well that's exactly what she got. There is a ward up top that does scout no one.
Oh,
the
there we go.
arrow
See?
hits
Just
him.
easy pickings. Now keeping Slaughter disabled for that fight, although it's still going to be a little aggressive for the Mirana. Her Lincoln's is popped. She's tossed up and her corpse hits the ground, and that's 100 seconds no Mirana. She does have buyback, but at this point it's pretty expensive, and she really would like that butterfly.
Yeah, nice ward from Team Spirit there. Able to scout the Mirana. These are the wards you need when you're getting split pushed. They help you catch and set up for these heroes ahead of time, so you can actually get in there before they back on. Haste on the Tiny, he's got his full MKB.
I like how he just puts the Chrysalis away. Like, there's just no slots for it.
He's got too many items.
Yeah. We'll see what he wants to finish off with that. I mean, I think Bloodthorn could be good, but at this point, you just got to keep your right click rolling. Our core Slardar, he's still doing his work. He's picking up a gem as well, so Weaver not going to be as sneaky. The Moonlight Shadow going to be a lot less impactful.
Yep, they do have the Aegis on the Drow Ranger, so they might be able to bait a nice fight where Mirana buys back and they take a fight in their base.
Well, it's all going to come down to this. Iceberg, he's walking up the steps. He's ready to go. He will get isolated down, but Crush comes in. The Sand King just obliterated. Oh my goodness, they are just focusing down structures left and right. Now Ramses going to be hit off by our Doom there. They're dooming up the Witch Doctor. I like this choice, making sure there's no wards bouncing around. And oh, they're trying their best here, but Iceberg, he's still going full in. Crush hits onto 2. There is going to be the Weaver time-lapsing up solo, so trying to keep him alive. He's going to go Shrine up, and now Iceberg just solo YOLO here. Going to get relocated out. The Wisp saves the day. What a beautiful play there. They can't find the kill in the Lich quick enough, but man, this is crazy. They're all making sure that they can go and fight this relocated in Wisp, and yeah, Fanscore just feeds his life away. Gonna be a nice little bounty of gold, but man, that Tiny played a dangerous game and wasn't punished at all.
Yeah, they even got the racks through the buyback there. Excellent relocate out. Tiny lived with like 200 HP. And on the bright side, VP saved their Aegis. And now it looks like it's go time for them.
Yeah, they've got to make a play here. They know Wisp is down without buyback, but it's real hard to fight against this Tiny. You can just go and cleave you to death. So we'll see how they're gonna manage this one. Gem still being held by Slardar too, so a Moonlight Shadow won't buy you immunity. Iceberg here just avalanching up the Drow Ranger. Radiant are going to pop down a sentry, making sure there's no funky invis play coming out. But tier 3 falls, and now Ramses wants to go in for more. Very easily taking apart these structures, but the toss forward from Ramses, they isolate him from his teammates. He's going to be blinking back, and Slardar goes to work. Iceberg just slapping away. Kills off the Witch Doctor immediately. It's a really short respawn for him, but he can't really TP himself back into this fight. Now Pasha going to be forcing himself away. Meanwhile, FNG isolated. There is going to be BZZ going to town here. DK Phobos slashing down onto Pasha, clips him with that Shiva's Guard. The Moonlight Shadow won't be enough to save him this time. Sand King in the grave. Weaver with no buyback as well. Leap away from the Mirana. Can they keep on top of no one here? Oh man, they get the toss forward, and BZZ looking for something. There's a regen rune, so tantalizingly close, but she can't get to it. And now BZZ going to be going up to full health, full mana. This is it. This is Team Spirit's window to fight and win the game.
This is it. Honestly, there's no buyback on the Mirana.
Or the Weaver.
No buyback on Weaver either. The base is going to die so quickly to Tiny here.
Yeah, it looks like he's just going to go ahead and... This is through backdoor protection. Just obliterate the structures. Now down to bottom lane. Again, just clearing him out there. Wisp keeping Tiny as healthy as can possibly be. Now Yule's up. They've isolated the Slardar. They're going to keep him locked down here. They're just spraying everything they've got onto the Slardar. Barely take him down to half health. He is the gem holder, so he's got to play a little safe. But man, Iceberg going for the tier 4s here. Dropping onto the Drow Ranger. This is huge. They will keep him locked in place with a Burrow Strike temporarily. DK Phobos eats the coconut. And now Ramsey's still trying to clean up Iceberg, but oh, they get the Silver Edge break on him as Craggy's not going to be doing a whole lot, but they doom up the Sand King. Relocate coming in from the Wisp in 10 seconds. Do they fight this, or do they let the Wisp go back in solo?
Wisp is very dead.
Yes, Wisp is very, very dead, but I get a tier 4. They finish off 2 sets of racks. It's looking real good for Spirit in terms of overall net worth, about 10,000 in their favor.
Yeah, not the end of the world though. Tiny did buy back in the previous fight, so they know if they kill him that they have quite a large window. But yeah, very hard for VP to come back from this. They're down, their base is completely naked. They have 1 lane left. Their only real hope, you know, being that if they can kill the Tiny, he won't have buyback and he'll be down for an extremely long time.
Very, very tense here. Again, just to restate, we are in game number 5 of a best of 5. Both teams giving it everything they've got here. Now 45 minutes in, this is the longest game of the series as no one wants to be the first to make a mistake and tap out. Betway, King of the Hill. Some good money on the line here and trying to reign supreme. Iceberg, he's ready. He's got his frost armor and just looking for some prey. Next Roshan is still a while from spawning. Got about a minute till we're going to see if it's a short or long spawn, so everyone taking their time.
Yep, it looks like VP really want to force this fight while Tiny doesn't have his buyback available, but bottom lane is pushing in, and they do have the IO Tiny possibility to relocate into the base once the creeps get close enough. It's actually going to happen very soon if they're not careful.
Yeah, the danger is that is you just let Drow massacre your racks, and look at this, just easily cutting apart the range racks. And Melee taking a little bit longer there. Arrow blindly flying through, won't clip onto anyone, and yeah, Iceberg just able to cleave down these illusions incredibly quickly. Down bottom, here we go. Drow Ranger TPing back, got to defend this, and that means Team Spirit, they get a little bit of a free pass to go push out their top lane.
Yep, they're trying to make sure they have buyback on all the other heroes on Team Spirit. Slardar not purchasing his heart yet, saving for buyback. Doom just finished up his refresher orb, and he has buyback as well. So one fight does not end the game, even if Tiny does happen to die without his buyback up yet.
Very, very scary here. In terms of levels, we've got 3 25s in the game already, and a couple of 23s getting very close. And those final talents could be pretty determining. Witch Doctor leading the back of the train, only at level 15 now, but he's had a pretty big impact in these fights when he's not doomed.
Yeah, he's been very strong in these fights.
Here we go, Tiny just making his way in. Everyone fighting under Shrine. The Shrines are vulnerable, but Spirit gonna keep him alive for now. And ooh, there we go. There's the Doom initiation onto the Drow Ranger. She's gonna get focus back. Lil, 14 seconds left on that time lapse. Can't save his buddies if he's dead, and he's gonna be going down. Drow Ranger as well. They both immediately buy back. Pasha's Epicenter ringing out into nothingness. It looks like this tier 2 gonna be ignored at the thought of going in for more blood. Now no one goes in. Iceberg is pretty deep here, but all of the Dire heroes now initiating. A Burrow Strike does a good job, but Solo still picked off. 11 seconds respawn on him, but it's going to be a very, very tight 11 seconds as DK Phobos is just enormous here, charging up onto the high ground, trying to get the kill onto the Weaver. This could be a dieback, but instead the Doom goes down. 88 seconds on him. Tiny falls. Tiny doesn't have buyback here. They're going to get the Wisp as well. VP are turning this around. They're keeping themselves back in it, focusing down Spirit. It is going to be a full wipe. Now buybacks on board for Spirit. They want to keep this momentum going. They don't want to let this fight be their last.
What just happened? They like killed them all, kept chasing, fought the buyback heroes again just to die. It's like
oh my, the
killing
fight
5
recap
heroes
for
hard
that
enough,
is just skulls on skulls. That was 5 buybacks.
All right. So something I always tell people when they're like relatively new to competitive Dota is you can kill 5 heroes, but it's very, very difficult to kill them again when they buy back. Like, you usually can't go for like 9 kills. You force buybacks, you reset, you play the game safe. Now they're at a stage where literally any team can win, right?
Yeah, that was potentially a game-losing
no
fight. We're going to be forcing out the Lich buyback here, but
they're going for the throne.
Yeah, they don't care about this second lane of racks. You see BZZ just skirting around the issue, trying to figure out if he can initiate Doom. Still on cooldown for over a minute. They can't disable anyone here, and no one. As Lincoln is going to be popped. Look at that. Just the Ethereal Blade splash onto the Lich. They keep him locked down. 2 arrows clipping. Now BZZ going to town onto Solo there, but the Weaver Ags keeping him locked down. BZZ, even BKB'd under Shrine, facing some issues. They are able to get the Burrow Strike onto the Doom. DK Phobos through Crimson Guard, still falls. Yule's up onto the Sand King, but this tier 4 tower ticking low as Ramses doesn't take his eyes off the prize with 3 heroes in base. It looks like this is GG after the hardest fought series we've had in Betway so far. It will be VP taking the championship here.
Alrighty, what a game. You still had no idea who's going to win this game until the very last minute.
Yeah, it was a back and forth fight, and I really think that over-aggressive teamfight bottom lane just straight up lost them the game. They had so much momentum, but well, their buybacks were spent and they were still killed, so either way, well fought from Team Spirit, but congratulations Virtus.Pro on becoming our new Betway Arena King of the Hill champion. And let's